Okay, first of all, thank you everybody for all the well wishes after yesterday's video. I know I looked like hell. I got a lot of rest today, and thankfully I did, because oh my god, we got a Wolverine reveal, man. It finally freaking happened. We got a brand new trailer, we got gameplay, and we got a lot that we are going to break down here in today's video. If you're hyped, if you can't wait, bubs, hit that thumbs up button and make sure you slash that subscribe button. Turn on those notifications. Tons of Wolverine content coming your way, and my god, next year it is going to be amazing. But okay, let's jump in now. Let's break down the official reveal trailer for Marvel's Wolverine. The first thing that you notice immediately towards the beginning of the trailer is Wolverine is walking into a bar, and we can see that this is indeed the Princess Bar. This is kind of a landmark location that is found in Madripoor. Madripoor is now one of the confirmed locations that we are going to be exploring, or at least visiting, within the story of this game, so it is not a surprise that the Princess Bar is going to be one of those places that we go to. To be honest, actually, when we see Wolverine inside of the actual bar, it looks very much similar to that reveal trailer for Wolverine 4 years ago. And I believe that we all kind of speculated that that's probably what the bar was all those years back. Anyways, we were all thinking, it looks like he's going to be in Madripoor. It looks like this is the Princess Bar. Now all of that is confirmed from this trailer. You can very quickly see someone behind the counter at the bar wearing like a green looking costume. I think this is Tiger. We mentioned the name of this character all the way back during the reveal trailer for Marvel's Wolverine. I do think that that's who that is there. She is a character that can be found in Madripoor, so I wouldn't be surprised if that is indeed Tiger there. Then we get a shot of a plane flying over Canada. This looks like it is British Columbia, and well, we kind of get some confirmation of that in a little moment during the trailer later on. Throughout this trailer, we see Wolverine fighting these dudes with cybernetic body parts, but they're still bleeding. They're still, they're taking some hits, they're taking some damage. These are, from my knowledge, or at least from what it looks like based on what we're seeing here, the Reavers. In the comic books, the Reavers are this military group that are exactly what you're seeing in the game. They have some cybernetic body parts, but they're still like humans with those cybernetic body parts. You might remember, actually, if you watched Logan, the Reavers were featured in that movie. Then we get a shot of Wolverine riding his bike. I'm wondering if you're actually going to be able to ride it yourself during some of these set pieces, but really quickly, if you pause at the right moment, you're going to see a sign on the highway. And the sign on the highway reads Squamish, and Squamish is actually a town that is in the northern part of Vancouver, British Columbia. Really quickly, you can notice that the license plate on the back of the bike there reads 229. Now, from what I did and the research from what I looked up, is this could be an Easter egg to Uncanny X-Men issue 229. And the description of this issue reads, after the Reavers run a murderous bank robbery, the X-Men ambush them to put a stop to their criminal ways. So it does look like the license plate is a reference there, because this comic issue specifically has the X-Men going toe-to-toe against the Reavers, which we do see prominently featured in this game. So it was already confirmed that we're going to be in Canada, and that the Canadian wilderness is going to be one of the places that we can explore, that we're going to be visiting within the story of Marvel's Wolverine. But yes, Vancouver, British Columbia looks to be specifically one of those places. And what I was really excited about with this trailer is that we actually got some gameplay out of it. It wasn't just a full-on cinematic trailer. It wasn't all cutscenes. There was a moment we cut back to Madripoor and we see Wolverine fighting some people in an alleyway, and oh my god, it looks visceral, it looks violent, it's brutal, it's glorious, okay? It is everything that I wanted out of a modern day Wolverine game. I am hoping, I'm going to cross my fingers that from everything that we are seeing here, it's going to play just as good as it looks, because my god, it looks so good. There's even this shot too where Wolverine kicks one of the Reavers into a wall, and we can see all this environmental destruction. We can kind of see the environment interacting or reacting to some of the things that Logan does in combat. I love that. I can't wait to see how all that plays out when you're in the middle of a big fight with a bunch of people. All these little snippets that they were showing of gameplay and all the things that Wolverine can do to his enemies. My god, it is gory. And then we get this shot of Wolverine kind of sliding on a roof, but ahead of him, you get a good look at Madripoor. I'm wondering how much of everything you see there in front of you you're going to be able to explore. I don't think Marvel's Wolverine is going to be a full-on open world game in the way that Spider-Man was, but it does seem like there are going to be some explorable areas. This all does, for the most part, line up with what Jeff Grubb had previously reported and that I had talked about in videos a long while back. He said that there were going to be kind of hub areas that you can explore that aren't going to be fully open world, but semi-open world. So yeah, you're not gonna have the ability to explore maybe all of Madripoor or all of Canada, but there may be portions of these areas that you visit throughout the story where you kind of have just an open area to just roam around in. And then we get a quick glimpse of one of the villains that's gonna be in this game, Wolverine, going toe-to-toe with Omega Red. And Omega Red looks like he is kicking Wolverine's ass. I can't wait to see what the boss battles are gonna be like in this game. If they're gonna be even half as brutal as just the regular combat looks like, my goodness, we are in for a treat. And Omega Red's design looks so sick, man. He looks mean and menacing and scary. And then it cuts to this interesting moment where we can actually see Wolverine kind of struggle to get his claws out. You gotta wonder, narratively, what is happening that makes that so? Because honestly, it does look like he is taking a bit of a beating at this point as well, because after it shows that part of the claws just barely coming out of his knuckles, it then cuts to a close-up of his face where we get a bit of a look at what the healing factor is going to be like in this game. His cheek is exposed, we see the adamantium beneath it, and then boom, the healing factor kicks in and his face is all cleaned up, minus all the blood from his enemies that are all over his face. To be honest, it kind of lines up with what he even says in the trailer, where I'm paraphrasing, but it's something under the lines of like, death is coming, but not for me. Wolverine then finally gets to push his claws out. We get some more action shots of him fighting some of the Reavers. One of them looks to be like a brute, so there's obviously going to be tons of different enemy types in this game, including that brute looking Reaver. And then after that, we get a shot of Wolverine leaping off his bike and attacking a soldier. Now, in a blink and you'll miss it moment, you'll notice that there is some writing on this soldier's suit on the front and on the back, and it actually says the word Trask. That is the name of one Bolivar Trask. We're going to talk about him in just a moment. He's a very important character in the history of the X-Men, and he's directly related to something that we see later on in the trailer. The big reveal actually takes place towards the end of the trailer. We actually see that one of the Reavers is disguised to be none other than Mystique. Yes, Mystique is going to be another one of the villains that will appear in this game, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what her role is going to be in the story. I love the design. I do wish that she had a suit that was a little bit closer to the comic books, but I will say just the face, the hair, that stuff there looks great. And she just annihilates the Reavers. So is she on Logan's side? Is she one of the villains? Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Then we get a shot of this huge set piece. Wolverine's hanging off some cables. And again, in a blink and you'll miss it moment, just beneath him, you can see the logo for Trask Industries. Trask Industries, Bolivar Trask. I am going to get back to this in just a sec, I promise. But right before we get the title card and we get the fall 2026 release window, we get a nice money shot, a close-up of Wolverine in his yellow costume. I am very happy that he is actually going to be wearing a suit in this game. I really do want to get like a full head-on look at it though. From what we saw in that close-up and just from what we can see through some of those moments throughout the trailer, it does look good. I'm just glad that Wolverine has a yellow suit in this game. White eyes look great. Liam McIntyre is such a good choice for Wolverine. He is crushing it with the voice and his face. It is working. And how crazy is it too that he is now the second Australian guy to play Wolverine? And then finally, yes, at the very end of the trailer, we can see Wolverine squaring up against a damn Sentinel, dude. And now this is where I will talk about and bring full circle to what I was talking about with Bolivar Trask. That is the guy behind the invention of the Sentinels. So yes, in some way, shape, or form throughout the story of Marvel's Wolverine, either Logan is going to be going after Bolivar Trask, or Trask is going to be going after Logan, and it'll culminate into some sort of big set piece at Trask Industries, where we're gonna face off against a Sentinel. X-Men Origins fans, we freaking won! We were gonna get another big Sentinel fight in a Wolverine game. Hell yeah. And that brings us to the end of the trailer. Again, we have a fall 2026 window confirmed, And also, Insomniac has been kind enough to communicate when we can expect to hear more from this game, and it is going to be sooner rather than later. We're going to hear more from Marvel's Wolverine in the spring of 2026. I think it was good that they did this, honestly, just to set the expectation there's not going to be anything, it seems like, during the Game Awards later this year. And that's totally fair, you know, we just got to wait a little bit longer past the Game Awards into the new year. In the spring of 2026, we'll learn more about the game, and hopefully from then it'll just be a non-stop hype train all the way up until the release in the fall. And with that being said, let me now kick it to you guys. What did you guys think about the trailer for Marvel's Wolverine? Was there anything that I missed here in my breakdown? I would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments. I've been Caboose. I'll see you guys later.